Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. More and more people are being driven to Bitcoin. Yesterday, we had a massive near $1 billion of inflow, and almost all of that was into BlackRock's ETF. People are not paying enough attention to BlackRock. Over the last month or so, they have been inflowing like madness, even when others were outflowing. Look at all the red. Do you see any red on the left column? No. Even on days when there were sell-offs and outflows, not for BlackRock, they continue to load up in a big way. That tells you something. They are preparing. They're buying no matter what, because they're preparing for the future. It's never too late to DCA into Bitcoin. Standard Chartered even says, like yesterday, I think yesterday I covered the prediction about Bitcoin going to 600,000 by the end of this cycle because of what's happening with the bond market and so forth. That's what one trader thinks. Now Standard Chartered is making a prediction that's not too far off, saying that now sovereign funds are buying Bitcoin via either MicroStrategy or Bitcoin ETFs or Bitcoin itself, and now they have revised their prediction to 500,000 for Bitcoin. Before they said it was about 200, 240, but now they're seeing explosive moves into the sector. So now they're predicting 500,000 will be the top for this cycle. So, man, I would love to see a 5x from here by the end of this year for Bitcoin. There's still so much. There's still so much happening adoption-wise. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. And here's the thing. Even at 500,000 Bitcoin would still only have half the market cap of gold. As you can see right now, gold has been doing well. Obviously, over the years, it's been slowly climbing up. It's above 3,000 now, you know. But Bitcoin is catching up really, really quickly. Obviously, we've broken a new high territory, but we are catching up in a big way. And for Bitcoin to truly catch up to gold, in terms of that market cap, it needs to be above $1 million each. So even if Bitcoin went to 500,000 by the end of this cycle, that's only half the market cap of gold. So think about that. Think about how much more, I guess, room there is to grow for Bitcoin. And that's not going to be, you know, Bitcoin's not going to stop there. That's the thing. But next stop, where is it? Again, a lot of people are predicting 120, 130, 140. According to this, it would probably be, 140 to catch up. We'll see. And those that understand, of course, are continuing to DCA and then never stop. Saylor put out something yesterday saying that if you're not buying a top, you're leaving money on the table, which sounds funny, but when it comes to Bitcoin, that's essentially true because Bitcoin has no top. It just keeps on going. There may be local tops, but if you give it enough time, we always get back to it and break through it, right? And that's why Saylor is so bullish, why so many other companies like Metaplanet, they have become so bullish. In fact, Metaplanet's stock is the hottest in Japan right now, because of their Bitcoin strategy. And of course, strategy themselves are not going to stop. They're planning on issuing $2.1 billion worth of Series A stock. Guess why? Because they want to buy more Bitcoin. It's a race to the end. Basically, whoever can accumulate the most will win. Not just win at accumulating Bitcoin, win at, I don't know, life, I guess. So, yeah. You got countries now You have a legislator from Taiwan that's saying Bitcoin is not just an asset, it's a strategic necessity, right? So we got countries that are also proposing strategic reserves, okay, 0.1% GDP equaling 780 million. Will this happen? Quite possibly. Taiwan and many other countries, right, are trying to embrace Bitcoin in a big way. Where is this going to take us? Where is this going to take Bitcoin? Well, Peter Brandt was a pretty famous trader, I would say. He's been doing this for a while. He has turned pro-Bitcoin. Back in the day, he was not a pro-Bitcoiner. But these days, everyone is turning pro-Bitcoin. So looking at this, basically, he's predicting that Bitcoin is going to probably head to 125 to 150,000 by the end of August. That's only like 2 months. We're almost end of May, so it's really like 2 more months. 2 more months to head to 150,000? Certainly possible. With the way the macro conditions are going in a bad way, it's forcing more people to turn in Bitcoin. And remember, global liquidity is going up. Quantitative easing is happening already. And when there's money flowing, that also helps. So it's like perfect storm. We're at 111,000 today. We may be at 120,000 next week. And then we got so much time to hit that 150,000 mark by August. And then you know what? That's not the top either. We can keep on going. 200, 300, 400 predictions of 500, 600,000 now coming out. Here's a chart from Stock Money Lizards that they put out. You know, they put this out in December 23rd, predicting where Bitcoin will end. They're predicting that Bitcoin will end somewhere this year around $300,000. Now on top, it's a little hard to see. That's the trajectory of Bitcoin since the prediction. It's going according to plan. It's not as, it hasn't hit the peaks the same way, but basically it's following this trend line. And if you continue to follow or project where that trend line is going, you know, they're not that far off. 300,000, 200,000, 400,000 by the end of this year. Certainly possible. Certainly possible. We just continue to go and trend higher and higher and higher and higher. So that's why when I say when things get bad, short term, when in doubt, zoom out. Because when you zoom out like this, you're like, oh, no, you know, Bitcoin's just been going since November. It hasn't slowed down. What happened, you know, to our local bottoms? What happened to the days of 70,000 or 80,000 just a few months ago? Well, when you zoom out, you don't even notice it. Right? It seems like those days were so long, but that was only like a month ago. Things have turned really quickly. This is why with Bitcoin, you just want to stay in the game no matter what. You continue to hodl, and then you DCA, and that's it. That's the game plan. You don't need to do anything else. It's the winningest game plan when it comes to Bitcoin, right? So there you have it.